Hey all my stretching friends, welcome to today's front and middle split follow along routine. My name is Alex and I'm going to take you through a routine based on science. This is why we're going to be doing heaps of warming up. We're going to start with a generic warm up that gets the blood flowing, making sure that we're warm for stretching. Then we're going to do a bit more of a generic warm up that helps us really get into those muscles that are going to be stretched in this particular routine. After that, we're going to stretch our front splits, and then at the end, we're going to stretch our middle splits. You don't need any kind of equipment to do this routine. You just need a little bit of space and a chair or a wall for balance. Let's get started. And we're going to start with our generic warm-up, so just running on the spot. We're gonna do the generic exercises for 3 minutes before we move on to something a little bit more specific to our stretching. Just 15 seconds here, lifting our feet up high. Three, two, and one. High knees on the next one. Really trying to touch our knees to our hands. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and mountain climbers. Ten seconds, and we're back on the running. 3, 2, and 1. Three, 2, and 1. High knees on the next one. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and mountain climbers. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and 1. On the next one here, we are going to be warming up our hip flexors and our quads. So the exercise looks like this. We're gonna come down as low as we can, holding onto something for balance. From here, I'm gonna be lifting up my leg as high as I can. We're gonna hold for 10 seconds. So join me here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're gonna repeat this 3 more times. Coming down. Nice and high. Bottom leg is straight. Lifting this one up as high as we can. If you like, you can help yourself with your hand, but letting go. 3, 2, and 1. Shaking off if you need. Coming down. Lifting up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shaking it off. We have one last one to go. Coming down. Lifting up. 10 seconds. Remembering bottom leg is straight, lifting this one up as high as we can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, we're gonna repeat the same thing on the other side. And we're going down, up, lifting up as high as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down. 3 to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 2 to go. As we lift this leg up, we really want to make sure that we're not leaning away from it. So I'm lifting this leg up, crunching into my top leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One last one. Coming down, lifting up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shaking it off. We're quite warm here. We're gonna warm up our hamstrings a little bit, lying down on the ground. One foot is going to go in the middle. The other leg is just extended. And we're gonna go for 10 lifts, making sure we tilt our hips first. So leading with the hips. So I tilt, lift up. 1. Good. We have 9 to go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, as high as you can. 3, 2, and one last one. 1. So this should be getting a little bit into your hamstrings, a little bit into your glutes. We're gonna repeat 10 more times on the other leg. Lifting up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and one last one. 1. Good. Shaking off a little bit. We're gonna do an exercise for both legs now. Feet a little bit further away from our glutes than in the previous exercise. Same thing here. Rounding, lifting through the hips 15 times. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, as high as you can, really squeezing on the top. 5, 4, 3, as high as you can on the last one. 2, and lifting up and holding for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, so we should be quite warmed up in our legs now. The first thing we're gonna do, we're going to stretch our splits on one side. So we're gonna do all the stretches for one side first, front splits on that side, and then we're gonna repeat the same thing for our other leg. So I like starting with my less good leg first. So I'm gonna start with my left leg. You're gonna need a strap or a towel for this one. If you're quite flexible, you can just be holding onto your leg. We're gonna be pulling towards us for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, I'm gonna push against the band for 30 seconds. Then again, I'm gonna pull towards me for 30. I'm gonna push against for 10, and then pull towards me for one last 30. So starting here, 30 seconds. This is about 80% of our full stretch. So it doesn't have to be stretching all the way yet. Just making sure that the bottom leg is on the floor. We're not lifting up our hips, and this top leg is super straight. So we have to be squeezing our quad the whole time. The foot doesn't matter. If you want a bit of a stretch in your calves, you can flex it. If you don't, you can just point it. It does not affect our hamstrings in any kind of way. Okay, we're gonna be pushing against. So I push against the band for 30 seconds. If it's hurting your knee, you can be bending this leg. So pushing, pushing, pushing. Really activating our hamstrings and our glutes. Really thinking about the movement coming from here. So push, 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 push. 3, 2, and 1. And we're gonna stretch. So now we're gonna try to go for 100% of a stretch. If you don't need the band now, you can just let go of it. Okay, stretching, stretching, 30 seconds. If it helps you, you can use your other hand to push this leg straight. 3, 2, and we're gonna be pushing against our hands again for 10 seconds. So either a straight leg or a bent leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, push, 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 push. 3, 2, and 1. And last 30 seconds of 100% stretch. Three, 2, and 1. Good. Shaking it off. So now as we have stretched the hamstrings of our front leg, we're going to stretch the hip flexors and quad of that back leg. And we're going to go for 1.5 minutes in a little sequence that is made up of 3 30-second holds. And we're going to start here with a very deep lunge. So my back leg is straight. My front foot is in front of my front knee, and I'm gonna be sinking down as low as I can without bending my back leg. So back leg has to be straight. Hands on hips, so no hands on this front leg, holding here. So it's a bit of a warm up and a bit of a stretch. 3, 2, and 1. Back knee goes down to the ground. Front foot moves a little bit further forwards, and we're gonna be holding here. If you can't reach the ground here, you can hold your hands on your hips, or you can hold onto a wall or a chair. Please just don't lean over your front leg like this, because it takes the stretch off that back leg. Three, 2, and last 30 seconds, we're gonna move this front foot even further forwards. If this is hurting your back leg, you can fold the mat under your back leg a little bit, or you can get a cushion or something that takes the pain away from the knee. We have 20 seconds left here. Really feeling the stretch in the back leg here. Okay, 3, 2, and coming slowly out. So now as our front splits are stretched on our left side, we are going to move on to our split sequence. So the split sequence is going to last for 2 minutes, and it's made up of 4 different 30-second holds. So we're just going to start nice and easy, taking 30 seconds to get into our splits here. So in your own time, making sure the front leg has to be straight. If this is how far you get, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you're not leaning over the front leg. If you need blocks or a chair, your chest has to stay up. And from here, we're gonna be sliding as low as you get, making sure that we're sitting down onto this leg. So my hips are square and pointing straight ahead. Okay, on the next one, we're gonna be folding over our front foot. Whatever level you're at. If you're up here, you're still folding over your front foot. Three, 2, and on the next one, we're gonna be doing a little activation. So I'm pushing my foot and my knee into the ground to lift up. So I'm pushing, lifting up. I can't quite do this without help from my hands. So this is why my hands are helping me. But if you're up in a lunge, it's much easier. So that I don't want you to be using your hands, just pushing foot and knee into the ground. So activating these muscles here. 3, 2, and last 30 seconds of holding. I like to flex my back foot for this one just because it makes my hips a little bit more square, so this way I can look at my back foot, and if my heel is straight up, that means that my hips are square. Five seconds. 3, 2, and coming out. Ooh, nice work. Okay, we're just gonna do a little bit of whatever feels comfortable for your hips and your hamstrings here. And from here, we're gonna repeat the whole thing on the other side. So we're gonna start with our hamstring exercise. So this is PNF stretching. So pulling towards us, 80% of a stretch first, 30 seconds. Really squeezing that glute. If it's hard to squeeze, use your other arm to push the leg. So making sure that the leg is straight. Okay, 3, 2, and pushing against her hand. So either bent leg or straight leg. And I'm just pushing my foot, resisting with my hands. Good, we only have 10 seconds to go. Push, 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 push. 3, 2, and 1. Pulling towards us, 100% of a stretch here. If you feel pinching in here and you don't feel like you have any space because your quad is against your stomach, we're just gonna be bringing this leg a little bit more to the side. Still, leg is super straight. 30 seconds. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, and we're gonna be pushing against the hand for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, one last 30 seconds, and we're gonna move on to our lunge sequence. As low as you can get. If you're still needing to use the strap, that's perfectly fine. I was there once as well. We all work at our own level. Okay, 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good, okay, lunge sequence, right leg forwards this time. First 30 seconds, just our deep lunge. This is a little bit of action and work for that back leg and a little bit of a stretch. Okay, 10 seconds. Squeezing that back quad, the back leg has to be straight. 3, 2, and 1. Coming down. Front foot moves a little bit forwards. Hands on your hips. Don't keep your hands on your knee like I do, that's bad. Bad habit. Squeezing that back glute, pushing hips down. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and 1 last 30 seconds. Moving the front foot further forwards. So in this exercise, you want to be thinking that it is the back leg that is trying to touch the ground, not the glute here. If you need to hold on to something for balance, find a chair or something to hold on to. Okay, 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shaking it off, doing whatever feels comfortable. We're gonna jump straight into our 2 minutes of front splits on the right leg. So first 30 seconds, just getting into our splits. Nice and easy. So our nervous system has time to get used to what's going to happen. If you're all the way down, this is easy for you, putting things under your front leg. 3, 2, and folding slowly over that front leg. Making sure that rather than me touching my head to my knee, I actually want to be thinking about lifting my chest up, touching my stomach to my quad. Three, 2, and 1. On the next one, we're going to do our pulses, so pushing knee and foot down into the ground. If you need support from your hands, that's perfectly fine. Just making sure we're using the muscles, so using the hamstrings, using your quads. Good work. 10 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Last 30 seconds of just sitting here. Sorry, I'm like, keep on looking back to see the time. If this is starting to get easy for you, you need blocks under that front foot. You can also be putting blocks under your back knee. 3, 2, and coming out. Really nice. A little bit of time to just do whatever feels comfortable for your hips. And from here, we're going to move on to our middle splits. And we're just going to start with a quick active flexibility exercise. So we're going to start with lifting our legs up high, opening as wide as we can. From here, I'm going to be using my hands to resist my legs. So I'm going to use my hands to push my legs down, and I'm using my adductors here to bring my legs up. We're gonna go for 9 more like this. The more you use your hands, the harder this is. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 left. Come on, come on. 2. And pushing against our legs as much as we can on the last one. Lifting, lifting. 1. Good. Okay, from here we're gonna move on to our froggies, and we're going to do a little bit of PNF stretching. So we're going to start with just 30 seconds of stretching here. So I'm squeezing my core, so I'm not arching through my back, and we're just going to hold this position. So from the side, I wanna make sure that my hips are in the middle. So I'm not sitting too far back, and I'm also not too far forwards. In 3 seconds, 3, 2, and 1, I'm going to be pushing my knees into the ground. So squeeze my core even more, as if I want to be pushing the ground away with my knees. So really, really squeezing our adductors. We only have okay, 5 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, relaxing. Still squeezing our core a little bit so we're not arching too much. Sinking a little bit further down. Good, we're gonna stay here for 20 more seconds, and we're gonna jump straight into our middle splits. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shaking it off or doing like this, I don't know. I really like doing that. I feel like it's really relaxing for my hips. We're going to jump straight into our middle split. You have 2 options for this one. You can either just do it on the floor with nothing to support you. If you're doing that, you want to make sure that your feet are on the ground. So both the front and my heel is down on the ground, and I'm going to be coming straight down in a beautiful straight line from my foot to my hips to my other foot. upper body parallel to the ground. We really don't want to be stretching our middle splits like this, just because that stretches our hamstrings more than it stretches the middle here. If just doing it on the ground is too heavy for you and you feel like your arms are gonna get very tired, you can use a chair. This is a little bit high, but from here I'm gonna be leaning over my chair, opening my legs wide. So you wanna find a chair where the height suits your level of splits, and we're gonna do this for 2 minutes. So just a nice static hold here. You can be pointing your feet if you like, but our feet are on the ground. So the toes are on the ground as well. So we're not trying to lift up. Not because it's not an exercise, it's a perfectly good exercise to be lifting up. It's just a little bit more active work. For now, we're just doing static stretching, so we're just relaxing into the stretch. We're 30 seconds in, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. And this is the very last thing we're gonna do today. If you feel any pinching in your hips, if you feel pinching up here, this is not a very good thing. So if you feel that, what you can do, you can sit a little bit more back. So instead of being in the middle here, just sitting a little bit back. And what this does, it just stretches your wide straddles a little bit more than your middle splits, but that's okay, just because this pinching is really bad for our hips. Okay, 30 seconds left here. If you feel this is too easy for you, you need blocks under your feet. If you feel pain in your knees, you also need to make sure you have either blocks or cushions or something to support your knees. Just because this stretching usually is a stretching over ligaments, and this is not really very great for us, just because it brings a lot of instability to our knees. So making sure that you don't have this pain right in the knee here. Everything in here should be painful because it's stretching, but not right in the knee. Okay, 3, 2, and we're done. Very good. Bring your legs together nice and slow. Thank you so much for joining today. If you enjoyed this routine, please consider liking this video or subscribing to my channel, because that really helps me grow here. And the more I can grow, the more time I can devote to making videos for you. Also, if you wonder about where I got all that science from that this video is based on, you can see it right here. Otherwise, I'll see you back next week for a video talking all about, is it ever too late to become flexible? Thank you for joining, and see you next week.